We've been working day and night to restore our old wooden windows, and today we're taking our biggest risk yet, revealing the bold new color we've decided to paint them and reinstalling them by hand, along with drips, stains, and mistakes at every turn. Will this be the one where it all falls apart, or will it finally all come together? Watch till the end to find out.
Perfection kills the progress sometimes.
Exciting, guys. Our windows will all be back in place.
Yeah.
Oh my
Painted
gosh.
and finished.
We're Brittany and Drew, two hopeful adventurers building our dream as we turn this old watermill into our very first home, not on wheels. Now, let's take in a deep breath and let it out. Let the adventure begin. Here comes the painter man. Drew was in here late night last night, building a fort out of our refrigerator box. He was actually building like a little painting booth.
A little paint booth.
That's awesome.
Pretty great, right?
As a kid, I would have loved this.
I'll let you draw on the walls.
This is fun. Make it a little tiny house inside of our castle.
Grand house.
Yes. So if you guys have been watching our wooden window restoration series, then in our first episode, you saw us kind of figure out how we were going to approach this project. Our second window episode, you saw us turn a window into a doorway. And today, by the end of this episode, all of our window frames will be painted and have maybe glass in them. I see Drew looking at me with like, what?
No, you're right on.
What am I doing? What did she say that I'm doing?
Painted, installed back into those openings in the areas that they go. So that way, yeah, that's the plan.
Exciting, guys. Our windows will all be back in place.
Yeah,
oh my
painted
gosh.
and finished. And the guys can come back and do the plastering because the old section is those old stone walls that are the historic part of the mill, where the upper house is all needing a render, a plaster to seal it up.
Yep, that's right. That exterior plaster.
There's 6 windows, 1 door.
And the top portion of the mill. All right. Well, let's get to it. These frames are waiting. Also brought myself a shower cap to protect the hair from the paint. Not quite sure how messy it's going to get in here, but no one likes to try and scrape paint out of their ponytail. Drew had actually been setting up our workspace the night before, putting out all of the window frames and making sure to blow off any dust in the theater room and on our frames. Here, he's also grabbing our refrigerator box, which he later transforms into our little painting tent, which, as you will see, works out really well. Is that good?
Yeah, that should be good.
And this is our paint gun that will be our new best friend.
Listen to this.
It's a nice fan on a hot summer day. Although I have to say the temperature inside of the mill right now is just perfect. It's nice and cool in here. It feels great. This is a great workspace for a hot day outside. But we were really excited to get this paint gun because that meant that we didn't have to spend over 2,000 euros hiring somebody else to paint our frames. And we can do it right here in the comfort of our own theater room.
In our living room.
Yeah.
To be living room. So this is a little hack I learned. I've been doing a little research about paint spraying and reading all the manuals and instructions because we want the most professional look that we can get. Somebody said to take and put a bag inside here because it saves you from having to clean this later. So I thought that was a really good idea.
Yeah, I love that.
Right there. Try to spread it out as much as possible. And then we're gonna add 5% volume of water to dilute the primer that we're gonna put so it has a better viscosity going through the paint sprayer.
Yeah, we heard that otherwise the paint would clog that sprayer. So just a touch of water. And next we have the primer.
Specifically for exotic woods. And this is 2.5 liters, which will cover 30 square meters. These frames aren't even close to needing that much.
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure. You also might be wondering what color we have decided to paint the window frames. We're gonna have you stick around and wait till it comes to that round of paint layering, but
it looks like frosting for like a sweet breakfast, right?
Oh, it does look like a Cinnabon frosting. Doesn't smell like that though. I wouldn't lick it.
Smells alright.
Drew is that kid who ate glue in school. No, I'm kidding. Maybe. I liked Play-Doh. It was salty.
Oh gosh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa.
First spill of the day.
That's why we got plastic down, right?
Yep.
Making soup.
Should I add a little more?
Yeah. Whoa. That's good. Here.
A wipe.
That's goopy.
The challenge without having a brush.
Yeah.
But if we have any touch-up, we have a little foam roller.
Oh. I mean, am I supposed to like mix it real good, like crazy?
Best you can. All right.
This will be our very first time using a paint gun. We have done 0 test spraying. We have 0 experience with this. Everything in Spirit, our US camper van that we hand built, was hand painted with a paintbrush and a roller. There was a roller involved, but no spray guns.
Goggles.
But we're prepared.
Don't get our audience too covered with paint.
That's right, guys. Take cover. All necessary precautions. And let's do this. Action. Let's get to it. I don't think this should take us too long. Fingers crossed, because it's our friend's birthday party today and we're supposed to go dressed up like Barbie and Ken, so we can't go dressed up like painters. Unless it's Painter Barbie and Painter Ken.
Oh, we could just put some pink in here.
That's just paint ourselves pink.
You look like a lunch lady. What's for lunch? Sloppy Joes?
With no sneezes, no hairs, no surprises.
All right, let's do this.
Sloppy Joes. All right, this will be the first one, the chosen one.
Just make sure there's no extra dust on it to get in the paint particles.
I also want to say this orange paint was originally on this part of all of the frames because it's supposed to keep moisture from getting into the wood from the outside, so that's why it's orange. Let the painting begin. Since deciding to keep our wooden windows, it was clear that we were going to have to do everything possible to make sure that they could stand the test of time and weather, and having a proper primer was key. Can't wait to share with you the color we chose. Well, that looks pretty great. We have our first frame primed.
I'm happy with that sprayer. That's pretty cool.
You said that the key was staying about 3 inches away
Yeah,
as you sprayed.
this far away and continuous even movement, and then stop and then come back, or if we need to go vertical, changing the tip direction.
Now the question is, how do you get it from there?
Over to the drying stand.
Yeah, without messing up the nice coat.
I think it's okay because it's the primer layer right now.
We'll worry about the final layer when we get there.
It did say it takes about 30 minutes for this paint to dry to touch, but we can't wait that long in between.
Boom. Now you understand what our railroad tracks are for.
Yeah, there's a little bit of runnage right there.
There we go. Quality control.
I might get a little heavy on the overlapping sometimes.
That looks good though.
You wanna give it a shot?
Sure. Is this how I turn it on?
Yep, so you pull that down. Remember, always be straight to it.
Trying something new is always a little bit nerve-wracking at first, but I always appreciate how empowering it can be to try and learn a new skill. Plus, given our giant painting booth here, there really was no way that I could make any mistakes. I just had to remember to go up and down and left and right and not to linger too long in one spot. But worst come to worst, there was always the foam roller to help clean up any mistakes or drips. Because here, there are no mistakes, just learning opportunities and ways to find creative solutions.
She's looking like a pro in there.
We actually don't like this plastic bag method, so we tried it, and now we're not gonna do it anymore. Oh, that's exciting. Two frames down, any more to go. We have a turtle.
We have a turtle. I've noticed him 3 days, and when I stand up here, he usually runs off. But if we creep up slowly, he's right down in that hole. You can stand on this rock.
Oh my goodness, he's perfect.
Look, he's smiling.
Oh, you're so cute. Oh my.
He's suntanning.
He is. I love him. I've never had a pet turtle. Ready, jump.
He's moving at turtle speed.
Slow and steady wins the race. Hi, little guy. Oh, cool. In an effort to help keep our wonderfully beautiful world wild, we truly want to thank Wild for partnering with us on this episode. If you haven't heard of them yet, you are in for a treat. Drew and I have been using their products, which are all plant-powered. They're certified vegan and Leaping Bunny certified. They make deodorants, hand wash, body wash, lip balm, and their products are truly nourishing. All of their products come in premium aluminum reusable cases. They like to say, choose a case for life. You can even get your name put on it.
Hey, that's mine.
And now I have 24 hours of effectiveness. Their products are so creamy because of this shea butter. And besides how wonderful everything feels and smells, what made us switch to Wild is that we could be a part of their mission of eliminating single-use plastics from everyday essentials. You can be a part of that change and a part of what helps keep this world so beautiful and the people in it smelling so good. Hey, Mr. Adventure, catch. You can go to our link below, use our code Mr. and Mrs. Adventure, and get 20% off all products for a limited time only, available worldwide. Now, back to the mill.
So in the nature of filmmaking and having fun angles for you guys in our episodes, I thought it'd be fun to come to the back of the paint booth, cut a little hole right here so you could get a glimpse from this side. All right, you gotta seal that hole back up.
Whoa.
I see you.
Oh, I see you. We don't want a little primer square being painted somewhere out there. Okay.
Just a little. You got a nice stripe on your thigh.
Oh, thanks.
Ultimately, I expected there to be a lot more overspray, and I was quite concerned about our house, but it's really no different than using a couple spray paint cans. Like, as long as it's not breezy, blowing in the wrong area, you got it contained, you can do it.
Yeah, but we have a good system now. It's actually pretty crucial to have a rolling assistant on hand because the drips pool on the bottom. All of the frames have at least some amount of dripping and pooling of the primer paint, but
we're getting there.
yeah.
Just another way to spend a Saturday.
Yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Sure does. Glad I got you as my partner.
Aw, even if I look silly.
We both look silly right now.
Things were about to get a whole lot sillier, because remember that Barbie and Ken party we told you about? Well, we made it. Check out Drew's perfect Ken hands here. It's all about the Kenergy and the details.
Barbie poses.
A full day spent painting Barbie's dream house, fun times had with friends, and Ken for a husband who can do more than just beach. What more could a girl ask for? Ooh, right, finished windows. But we won't be painting our windows pink. You're so good. You're such a jungle cat. You're such a jungle cat. Look at everyone. There's no more frames in the painting booth this morning. We've been wanting to share with you the color that we've decided to paint them because we've debated a lot of different color combos. When it comes to painting the frames, because they were already painted, we knew that they weren't going to be able to be like sanded back to the natural wood, which is what we're going to do with the shutters. So all of the window shutters will be natural wood, but the frames, since they were already painted, it was just going to be impossible to sand back into all of the nooks and crannies. So after debating a soft sage green or maybe a periwinkle, we've decided that like those are all sort of like really big statement colors to choose because either one of those really affects the color of the exterior plastering on the brick portion of the mill. And we really sort of wanted to keep things a little bit more neutral, especially being that the window frames are seen on the inside of the house as well. So it's not just window frames that affect the exterior color, but also the interior color of every single room, including the old portion of the mill. And so to have like bluish, purpley periwinkle window frames was just like, whoa, everywhere's gonna have to match that. So we decided if we were to simplify our decision and if we were to think back on what the original owners of the mill would have done or what they already started to do, that was to paint them, drum roll please, this color, which is a nice and classy charcoal, otherwise known as anthracite, which must be some sort of a British term maybe. I've literally never heard of this color, but it's a thing here. People know what anthracite is.
It's one of the common colors sold at the store.
Yeah. And buying paint at the store is not like Home Depot where you just have like rows and rows of little papers with the different colors and fun names like Tinkerbell green or this and that. It's like there's one gray and there's maybe 2 whites or 3 whites, right?
They can custom make, but it's definitely not the level that we're used to in America.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you want to do charcoal? Here's the charcoal. The charcoal. But we're happy with it. It has like a blue tint to it. You'll see as they get painted, but
it's classy.
It's classy. And then we don't have such like a huge commitment for everything in the house to match a very specific green or blue color, you know what I mean? Okay, we gotta get to painting.
So I'm feeling really good about the stage we're at right now. We just did a rough coat, flipped everything, thoroughly covered the first base layer. You can see we have a really smooth finish over everything by spraying it. Really happy with the coating. We've touched it up with a foam roller just a little bit, but the trick is just consistency. Pull the trigger on the sprayer, go up, down, fill the spots on the inside, and the results are looking pretty top notch. There's just little spots like this. The sides don't actually matter because they're hidden in the wall. But if there are any like little spots or bumps, just like this teeny one there, those are the things I'm gonna sand and touch up, especially on the frames where they'll be open. So like there's just a tiny little thing there. You can get really picky with this. So we're just doing the best job we can, but as close to professional as possible. That's impressive. I think I might need a bigger paint booth.
Since our new window turned into a door frame wasn't finished being built in time for primer painting day, the next challenge was painting it white without getting any spray on our newly grayed or anthracited window frames. That is the challenge, because we don't want the white primer to spray all over our nicely first coated window frames. Also decided to add a bit of wood to the bottom to give it a little more support while it was wiggling around being painted.
So we've realized after putting the first layer of top coat
that the beads, or these strips of wooden framing meant to hold in the glass, got stuck when the paint dried, which, as you will see, made for a bit more work to be done before the second and final coat of paint could be applied. Can we get a thumbs up and a subscribe for all of the hard work here?
So on the first round of priming it and putting the white paint on, I had removed all the beads thinking that they would get stuck. And then I just kind of made the mistake of leaving them in on the second time around, thinking that they'd be really easy to remove. However, using the thicker top coat paint really seemed to be like an adhesive that just left all the beads to just get stuck in there. And you can see, unfortunately, we're breaking them a little bit as we take them out, which is creating a bit more work for us in the future. A little cleanup, using the chisel, using some sandpaper. So many steps along the way, but that's all part of the adventure. The other thing that we're trying to make sure that we do is mark every bit of the beads, the frames, match them with the associated casings. So we got window 1, window 2 for bedroom 2, number 1 that's in bedroom 1. There's a lot of organization involved.
Seems to be everyone that you film. Goes fucking yourself.
So as we're going through here, we've realized the ones I filmed seem to be the ones that are most stuck, that probably got the most layer of paint on them and it's causing the beads. If we had more come out like the one that you just saw that was in the full frame, that was the intended way in which we thought they'd come out, which made this very, very easy and simple. But even like this one, except for that corner, that's really in one intact piece. I mean, look at this. It came out really nice and didn't leave a lot of extra overlay in the edge of the frame, so we can put it right back in place.
And so our guys sanded and worked away as I washed the old hardware in preparation for the day, which will come before the end of this episode, believe it or not, when all of these window casings and frames go back in their respective spots in the upper portion of the mill.
I was just having a good laugh. I just saw a kitty print on the bottom of this frame, which means the cats snuck in the open windows. Guess they were mousing around. They left their stamp of approval.
Good girl. Hey, you. So sweet.
Everything is sanded and prepped. It's time for a final layer of paint.
Don't worry, we didn't film most of painting coat number 2, but I couldn't resist including these fun clips of Drew shaking it out with the paint can one more time.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Go, 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 go.
Alright, our door is ready. There she is, complete. Ooh, look how smooth it comes out with the sprayer.
Along with finishing up the second coat of paint on all the frames and casings, there was also painting a colorless UV protective oil on all of the wooden shutters.
Last night I was in here in the workshop till almost midnight, resanding, getting all the glue off the work I had done on these shutters because they are such a passion project at this point.
Remember in a past episode when Drew used wood glue and sawdust to fill in any cracks on the shutters? Well, unfortunately, that was a mistake because the UV protectant oil would not soak into those spots, leaving a discoloration everywhere there was wood glue.
Having to go back and do things is never easy, but so many times it's worth it. You're just like this close from getting the effect you want, even though it's that much more work. It took me about 4 hours to go back, clean all the glue spots off, and make these shutters look beautiful again. Let me show you guys. Remember all the streaks they were having before from the glue? That one looks good. Let's see how some of the others look. I don't know if they'll be perfect. It was pretty hard to tell. All right. That one looks good. That one too. Ooh, that one still has a little bit of a spot there on the top right. So hard to tell. All right, that one looks good. I'm gonna go ahead this morning and put one more coat of UV protection on them so it can dry for a couple hours before we get them hung on the windows. All right, I feel good. That was worth doing. Not perfect, but sometimes you just gotta settle. You can't let it be one of those things that sticks in your mind. Like perfection kills the progress sometimes. Good enough, good enough. I can't wait to see them when they're actually on the exterior of the house.
And along with that, applying a thick coat of waterproofing concrete inside all of the window and door frames.
So we've made the decision as an added water protection after making this slurry and coating it all the way around the frames of these windows. We're now gonna make what's like a little bit of a mortar slope going from the higher point here on the inside of the wall, and we're gonna just drain off any water that could potentially get underneath all the barriers we have under the window casing. We're gonna do this for this window, that window, and this window over here, the 3 in the main bedroom. And that way we can be sure that no water comes from the predominant windy side and gets into our house from underneath the window frames.
Then, after all of that, which was like literally days, if not weeks of work, it was finally time for all of the window casings and frames to go in. I can't even imagine what it will feel like once the glass goes in. Exciting.
We're getting there. Look how good that looks.
If we were to set it at 20 mil there and 20 mil there.
Yeah, the curve of the outer wall.
Then the wall's going to come a lot further out over there.
So it's almost like we need to move it back just a little bit so at least this extends past the curvature of the bathroom wall.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work out what the best thing is. I mean, really, we don't want to go any further out there because then you'll have to go thicker.
Yeah.
So I think we're kind of governed by that.
Because otherwise the edge, like you said, the plastering won't cover.
Yeah, well then you'll have to go thicker to get the plaster to that edge, won't it? So we
yeah.
we've got to say it at the 20 mil really, I think. on each side. It just means then
the curve overhangs.
But in a way, that's not a bad thing, is it?
Because then the other ones we're fabricating a
edge. I mean, you'll probably still put a drip on those, I'd imagine, and it'll be following the curve. The plaster will be finished there, but it's going to come out like that. But
let's do it.
Because that's what I was trying to work out. I was like, should I be setting it 25 mil or 20 mil there?
These are one of the trickiest window casings we got to install. It's not every day you're putting these in on a curved structure or building. So the objective right now is to get little wedges in at the top and then some wedges in various spots around the bottom so that we can get this shimmed in and put exactly where we want it to sit, and then we'll seal it in with the foam. This block right here is our gauge. This is 20 millimeters or 2 centimeters, and that's what we're using to go all the way around the box, the casing, so that we know the thickness of the plaster in the future. This helps us set it exactly where we want to set it. So after about 15 minutes, 20 minutes of shimmying, putting spacers in, banging it around, leveling it, checking all the sides, making sure everything's symmetrical and parallel and level, we finally got the window in place. I would say this is our most challenging window on the entire house. Berg's up on a ladder about 20 feet right now, so feels good to have this one done. All right, so I'm back up on the scaffolding in the bathroom. Ferg just walked around with the window casing. All right, Ferg. A little more snug.
Tight up here, we need some room to get some foam in.
So let's call that good on height then. I like the army crawl technique. Yeah. This is what we were eyeing up from the inside, is to have at least 2 centimeters of plaster or 20 mil. So we need to set the window out so far, but with the roundness of the room, we have to be careful here that the plaster doesn't come over top this window drip, that it lines up flush. And then here at the bottom, it's crucial that this drip extends out past the plaster. That allows any water that comes onto the window, that it'll drip off and not run all the way down the wall.
Lunch is served, Your Majesty. The cold water.
You're the best.
You're the best. It was unreal seeing our finished frames and shutters in the walls of the mill for the first time, especially seeing how beautiful they were on the inside. Now, on to installing our new door frame from last episode's project.
In order to get our door properly placed on the wall and secured, we've got metal bracing here. We're gonna make these into 90s. We're gonna clamp them in like this, and I'm gonna bend them over. This would allow us to adhere them and connect them to the outer of the wooden frame, and then screwed right into the concrete of the blocks on the wall. And that's how we make a 90. It's a trick of the trade to be able to get the frame in just right, checking all the levels, making sure that everything's squared up. There's the perfect amount of gap between the frame and the wall, and that's why we put in the windows that will be in that top half of this door frame, to make sure that nothing's hitting when they're closed, and then screw everything in properly. We even put a little bit of moisture barrier so any moisture in the cement base here can't seep into the wood up the window frame. Final stage of getting the door secured. We got all the shims built in, the metal bracing, and we feel like everything is just nice and lined up.
Next, Drew and Ferg just have to finish building the stable style door, but that's for another episode. How gorgeous do these new windows look? These new old windows. Our painted frames, our sanded and beautifully oiled shutters. I'm so in love with them. It was a lot of hours though. Hours of sanding, hours of oiling, hours of painting. Like, props to Drew and Ferg. I helped out a bit, but like, they did a lot of work, as you guys saw in the past 3 window episodes.
But the main reason being that we did all of these windows in the upper portion of the house is so the guys could come back, one of our teams, and do all the plastering to close up the house from any leaks when those fall rains start pouring in.
And if you made it this far in the episode and you just loved seeing our windows transform to the beautiful state that they are now after years of truly being like actually neglected, then go ahead and drop us a heart or a strong arm or
a window emoji.
Ooh, is there a window emoji?
There's a window emoji.
Cool. Yeah, we would love to see those and know how much we appreciate you. We love knowing that you stick around and watch as our whole story unfolds to the very end of the episodes. And if you're looking for another Mr. and Mrs. Adventure to watch and enjoy, then go ahead and watch this one right here where we go and explore a national park. We love our national parks back in the US, so just feeling the summer vibes, and we will see you in the next one.